Hello everybody, it is Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, you guys should subscribe, become patrons over on Patreon to support the channel, and remember to follow me on social media. So today we are watching the Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind trailer, and I'm really excited because I did have school this morning, and that sucked. Like, to know that it came out and everybody was watching it and I couldn't, like, it was driving me crazy, and I think that's why, like, I have more built up, like, anticipation because I had to get home and I've been waiting all these hours. So I am sorry, by the way, because I do try to post things like ASAP, but obviously I couldn't do that today. But we are just gonna get into it. We are going to watch it, guys. Okay, guys, here we go. It's finally here. Let's do it. So I guess this is the talking to Sora, just because I can't recognize the Japanese voice. So this is Axel doing, you know, as he usually does, like what happened before. Nomura did say that Xion was gonna get her time to shine in the DLC and how she came back and all that stuff. I wonder if we get to play as Axel, because that would be interesting, I think. But this doesn't tell us a lot by itself. I don't know, it just seems like you can, like that. Kairi's heart hasn't been lost yet, she's still with us, right? Isn't that the same thing as before? I don't know. Oh, wait! Whoa, wait! Sora has Oblivion! He's gonna get both of them! I feel like that was people's, I don't want to say complaint, but biggest like, oh, well, we already saw the thing with Sora with Oathkeeper, right? But now we know that he gets both of them, so he's gonna be able to get Oblivion. That makes me really happy. It's one of my favorite Keyblades. It's the one that I actually have, like, in the house, hanging on the wall. And so, like, oh my god, okay. Just because we knew about Oathkeeper already. And so, at first glance, like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, well, that's the Oathkeeper one. Just because it was going by so fast, so I had to pause, and I'm like, no, it's not Oathkeeper, it's Oblivion. And I know, like, you guys may be like, Cal, how could you get that confused? But it's like, I don't know, they're just bouncing around so fast. But it caught my eye. We are getting Oblivion, and that makes me so excited. But it seems like, I guess, you're fighting Vanitas here. Like, that's really cool. No more pausing. Okay, yeah, see, like, him as Oblivion there, like, when they're going across the screen, I can't tell. But yeah, it looks like, hold on, it looks like this area is a data battle. Like, it looks like the data battle areas from Kingdom Hearts 2. I wonder if we're gonna get to play as Aqua too? Like, this ice thing, like, I don't know, it seems like a team attack sort of thing.君は力を持つ強者は闇に覆われていく先の世界をどうしたいんだどちらがダメージを受けてもテラが危険だナミネはここから離れてあの海と空だけの世界で待ってて空はWait! Oh, Lingering Will and Terra? Are we gonna be able to fight as Lingering Will? Like, can we be Lingering Will? Okay. So I feel like we should go back because, like, here's the thing about this trailer, right? It shows a lot, but at the same time, what's actually happening feels up to speculation, if that makes sense. Because, like, I have no idea what like this stuff is gonna be. Like, it had already gone back into the past. Like, we got that. Like, we know that, like, Sora, like, he went back, he failed, and then he had to go back and, like, do the thing again. And so that part, like, we already know that part, and so I'm just wondering, like, I sort of wonder if they're gonna do a true ending type thing, if that makes sense, where before, like, that was the end, but we're getting a true end, like a different ending, if that makes sense, like, with the DLC, because it can't really change what happened to Sora, because I think that we are destined to go to Shibuya or whatever, because Sora's, like, dead. Spoiler alert, I guess. But I don't know, like, maybe there's sort of additional pieces that'll help us shape the end. And so now here with Axel, I think that, like, to be honest, like, this could be, like, two things. Like, obviously, we're gonna find out about Xion, and, like, Nomura already said that. But I also think that this could be a data battle, just because if you guys remember, in Kingdom Hearts 2, some of the data battles were on those, like, like, I don't know, circles, right? That sort of, like, the Zigbar and Vanitas ones are on. But some of them were in the actual location where you fought them the first time. Right, and so Vexen, for example, is in front of the Twilight Town mansion, right? Like, the ones that are on the physical sort of circles are the ones that, like, you don't remember, but you fought them before, like Marluxia and Calxiyn, like, they're all on those ones. So I think that has some interesting and weird implications, but at the same time, I think the important thing is that's a signal to us as the audience that data fights are coming back. And we know for sure that there's some sort of, like, solo Xigbar and Vanitas fight. Like, that much we already know. And so I would say it would kind of be interesting if in some of these data fights, if they are data fights, you play as, you know, Axel and Kairi. Or, I guess, like, later in the trailer, Aqua and Ven. But it seems like Axel's in control here, and you play as Axel, and Aqua is in control in the other side, and you're doing sort of team attacks with your party members, like you would do, like, with the Disney party members. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know, though, right? But I think that that's definitely something that, like, I guess that the trailers are sort of going to, or not the trailers, sorry, the DLC are sort of gonna just explore, like, outside of Nominee, like, sort of the data fights and refighting the organization members, and also just more about them, because, like, Demex and Villa Luxord have some stuff going on, but we don't know, like, and sort of all of that stuff, right? Because I definitely think if you guys look at this with me, right, like, this looks like you're transforming as Axel as if you were playing as Sora. Does that make sense? So it looks like Axel's gonna get to be playable, and that just makes me really happy. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, I love, like, you know, and it's not even playable, oh, he just has to keep, like no, he has his things, and I love those things. I don't know what they're called, but I love them, and I've always sort of wanted to fight with them, and so I don't know, I think that's cool. And so it looks like there may be two parts of this, like the part where you're obviously like maybe playing as Axel fighting Xion with Kairi, but then you also have this part where you're beating down Saex, right? And you know, with Roxanne. I think that's really cool too. Cause like, look at you. It looks like this is a team attack with your party members, cause they're doing this part, but then you're up there sort of, you know what I mean? Like Sora almost. So I feel like that's really what it is. Anyway, I have no idea what's going on here. Like, I'm lost. I don't know why this is important. That's why I'm talking about, like, oh, maybe there will be like a true ending type thing. Cause like you have this whole thing going on, and I don't know what it means. Like, I don't know if this is just referencing, like, what we already know. Like, Sora had to go back in time because, like, I mean, not back in time, but he failed, and then he went back and he tried again, and, like, you collect all of the hearts of everyone to make sure they're all safe. Like, just all of that stuff, right? And that whole, like, sequence through this world and putting yourself back together. Because, like, you seem put back together as he's talking to you. Like, you seem fine now. But I wonder if it's like, oh, you failed a second time, so here's your third time. You know what I mean? And just, I don't know, something fuckety like that. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure if this is just referring to like, oh, sorry, you failed that one time, here's your second time, like it happened in the original game. Or if this is like, oh, Sora, like you failed again because you died. Like, this is the DLC, third time's a charm. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that maybe it could be something like that where there's a true end type situation. I don't know. But then you got this part, which makes me excited because you have Oblivion, and I love the chains that go around Sora. Like, I think that that's just so great. But yeah, this is obviously a Vanitas solo fight, and I don't know about that, but Xigbar to me makes sense, right? Because when you fight Xigbar and Marluxia and Calxiyn, if I am not mistaken, it has been a minute, you are playing with Mickey, and so it's like, nobody wants to fucking play as Mickey, okay? I mean, yes, but also, like, we played as Mickey before in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's okay. We're okay. And so I wonder if they've all been relegated to this data platformer. Anyone that's, like, not gonna be interesting to fight, if that makes sense. And so you shove, like, Calxiyn and, like, Marluxia here as a data battle like they originally were on this sort of platform. Because this is one-on-one with Sora and Lucio or Xigbar, and I think that's sort of interesting. But yeah, I really like this. Because, yeah, it seems like when you're with Aqua here, you're fighting against Karen. Like, it's like like, nah, fuck you, Vanitas. Like, you don't really matter right now. Sorry about that, sis. You know what I'm saying? And, like, again, this looks like you're playing as Aqua, and this is some sort of team attack with So I feel like that if there's data battles or just, oh, well, you can replay this battle again. Do you want to do it with Aqua, not Sora this time, or whatever? But yeah, in this scene, I can't discern which voice actor this is, so I don't know who's talking, but we know that, you know, I'm pretty sure there was a scene with someone talking to young Zayn. So I feel like I should remember. I suppose letting false light dictate the future might be pretty loud. So I'm like, what does that mean? This is very, like, you know, very much Master of Master and even Lucio, but more Master of Master here. So yeah, I sort of like another trailer for this, and that seems like that trailer seems connected to what they're talking about here. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense a little. And obviously you see Nominate. It's bad news for Terra if either of them get hurt. But yeah, you have to leave, go to the world of ocean and sky. And so I wonder, that part I don't really get what he's talking about, unless he means, like, you know, the realm he's in with, oh gosh, I hate pronouncing the names of those things, because in Union Cross, like, I just, like, made up my own pronunciations for all their names until back cover came out, and I'm, like, stuck with those ones instead of the proper ones. Like, Ava and Gula, like, they're all fine. It's when you get into the other ones where I'm like, Cal, that's not how you say it. And so, yeah, that's where we're at right now. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know if it's talking about that, like the final world, if he means that, or if he means like, hey, Nominate, could you just go back up to the overworld, please? Like, it's almost like Sora knows he's gonna die, maybe, and so it's sort of like, yeah, Nominate, you better get out of here. Also, this just sort of confirms people's headcanons, doesn't it? Like, Sora's in the dive to the heart right now, and you sort of, like, people have these sort of, I don't know, just, like, I don't want to call them memes, because they're not memes, it's sort of headcanons, or, like, little, like, short art comics, like, Ventus, Xion, Naminé, and Roxas all just hung out here, but, like, she's literally just floating here, and so, yeah, it's kind of like that, isn't it? But anyway, so yeah, what if we get to fucking fight as Lingering Will, guys? I think that would be pretty insane. And I love it. Just because we fought Lingering Will, and a lot of us beat him, right, in Kingdom Hearts 2. And so now to come full circle, and it's like, well, now you're as Lingering Will, and you're, like, strong, but Terranort's stronger. Like, just sort of stuff like that. I don't know. I just really like that. I don't really know what else to do. I could, like, I want to just check quickly, because I saw KH Insider, and all they mentioned was new Keyblades and playable characters. I want to see if KH13 maybe has more info or speculation, but all it says, travel to a familiar realm and encounter powerful new bosses. In some additional battles, players will be able to switch characters. Players can also obtain additional Keyblades by downloading a free update. Notable difference in the Japanese dialogue versus the localized captions. What do you want for the world after it has been covered in darkness? Master of Masters. And so that's KH13. So that's Master of Masters talking to young Xehanort. And so we kind of like thought that from the other trailer that came out for the DLC. But I think that's it. Like, I don't know what else we can do, because again, the voices and sort of like the language barrier is hard for me to pick out pieces of dialogue for us to specifically talk about and speculate. I would say, I'm just gonna check this very quickly. According to localized translation, Aqua says, there's only one thing I want with all my heart. The original Japanese quote is, the only thing I've wished for the past 10 years is. I think that's sort of interesting. But yeah, they're basically talking about multiple playable characters, and so I would think that our sort of assumption is right, if that makes sense. During the battle against Xion and Sayak's new dialogue is revealed with Kairi and Lee. I mean, that's like, oh, it looks like Sora's. Like, that was barely really anything. But yeah, KH13 says the same thing, that these seem to be link attacks, so I'm glad that I was right about that. That Aqua and Ventus, and then Lee, Roxas, and Axel, it looks like link attacks, and I'm like, yeah! A new conversation between Sora and, where they discuss the whereabouts of Kairi's heart. Sora talks to Naminé in the Station of Awakening, urging her to leave to the world of ocean and sky. But yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously that was new, but it just seemed to be following the old stuff from last time of Sora recovering everyone. I don't know. And then there's obviously Vanitas and Lucio. I prepared a quick text real quick. I'm rewriting it because my heart began to pound fast. It may still be difficult to see the whole picture, but this time I can confirm some aspects of linkage and limit cuts. Please wait for the announcement of the release date while thinking about it. And so yeah, so I think that like Nomura's like, it may be hard to see the full picture, and I'm like, yeah, my dude, it is a little. But from the previous trailer and information reveals, this is what we know about Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. So this may help us, guys. Roxas can be selected after advancing through additional scenarios like those with Riku and Aqua. Oathkeeper. That's not important. A secret episode will be added that includes a bosses. That's what I find most interesting. A limit cut will be added that also includes a limit cut boss. New story content, so we already kind of knew that. Number of new bosses for Remind will be roughly as many as there were in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. So that's sort of interesting, because there's like 13, right? Because it's Organization 13 in Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. And so maybe I don't know if you guys remember this or if I already talked about this. Sorry, like we've just talked about so many stuff. It's just going and going and going, like my brain's a little hamster wheel and I can't remember what I already talked about. But I made this video about data fights and possible data fights for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I talked about how cool it would be to fight the Foretellers. Because really, if you put like the remaining Organization 13 together, that you should like be able to fight. So like, you know, Larxene, Marluxia, Vanitas, Xigbar, let's say, and then you have the other additional scenarios, right? Like there's 5 spaces to fight all the Foretellers. Like you could totally do it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And so if they're saying there's gonna be roughly as many as KH2 and all that stuff, and remember, KH2 also has Lingering Will, so that's really 14. I think there's a lot of possibilities that it's not just gonna be, oh yeah, you get to refight Saïx, or oh, you get to be Lingering Will and fight Terranort, even though that's cool. Like, it may be possible that we could actually fight the Foretellers or fight people from Union Cross. I think that would be pretty spicy. I don't know about anything else. I just quickly scanned the comments. Doesn't seem like anybody has anything particularly interesting, but that is all from me. I will see you guys later. Bye. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our wonderful patrons over on Patreon who support the channel. Their names will scroll through now.